Hi guys, it's me, Kathy. Mrs. Handy, are you? Hope you're all doing really well. And I really enjoyed having you guys over to my house for my live stream. That was really nice. So I hope you enjoyed it. And it had a lot of decoding about Princess Diana and Melania and Carolyn. So if you missed that one, go back and see the one before this. So I think you'll really like it. So anyway, so I wrote this on Easter, last Sunday. And the day before on 4/16, and in case you're watching from the future, it was 2022. So George News had posted on that day, on Saturday. He posted a very interesting thing on Telegram. And to me, what it was saying was that Jesus didn't rise after the cross. That was the gist of what the post meant to me. Now, maybe other people get lots of other things. That's fine. So he showed a screenshot of his favorite Bible. He's talked about it before on Telegram. And I can't remember what version it is, but it's quite a beautiful one. And it's got a lot of heavy script in the margins. So on this page, it said, let's see if I can get my finger in here so I can point. He has, across the top on the left margin, he has, and then risen vertically. And it was from Mark 16:6. The legible phrases on that Bible page were very interesting. It was curved, how if you see a book open, you can, my hand isn't high enough, it's kind of like curved like that. So the way the photo was taken, the screenshot, you couldn't read very much on the page, at least on the two ends. Matter of fact, most of it wasn't legible at all. So there was only certain parts that were legible, and that was all on purpose. Now, I didn't do gematria on that, or gematria, whatever. I didn't do that. You easily could. You can just look at the capitals that are clear and do it that way. You could take a phrase from a sentence or something. You can do gematria lots of different ways. But so I didn't do that. But what I did write down was the short phrases that really jumped out. And it's, like I said, it's because it was curved and you couldn't read either side, the right or the left. So it says, now when he rose early on the first day. Now that's where it started off. And then it was getting like iffy on the two ends, on the right and the left, from the curve in the page. So this is what I got out of it that was the most legible and that really jumped out at me. He rose early on the first day. Mary Magdalene, who had been with him, now these were from different separate lines on the Bible page. He rose early on the first day. Mary Magdalene, who had been with him, he was alive, believe it. So that's what I got out of it. So in other words, George was trying to tell us that he didn't die and that he didn't rise again, at all. I don't mean even on the third day. He's trying to say he was alive on that day, on Easter. So I know I probably didn't make that very clear, but that's the gist of it. Excuse me, I'll get some water. So, wow. And so, believe it that he's alive, that he didn't die on what they call Easter Sunday. And Savin had a great Easter episode on Psych Club, PSYCH, with Tom Bushnell, Tom Numbers, and he mentioned that Easter was named Easter because of the god Oester. I think that's how you say it. It's Oester. And he went into a great amount of detail about Easter. And the eggs are a symbol of fertility, like for the fertility gods. God, probably goddess, actually. And yeah, everything, all our holidays are just messed with. So, and what I wrote down at the time was, don't believe the big lie. Now that comes up in decoding a lot, the big lie. The biggest lie, you know, that kind of matching. And Gematria, I'm always forgetting to tell you if you're new, Gematria is Bible coding. And what I'm doing is kind of reverse engineering it, like decoding. And A equals 1 through Z equals 26. And I use Gematrix.org. It's RAX on the end. And you just, if you read a post or a book, it could be anything, a newspaper article, a headline of a newspaper, something in a magazine, something somebody said, like President Trump or anybody, you can work on it and you can either take all the capitals from whatever you're reading, you could take a phrase, or you could take a word that's highlighted, or just a word that is jumping out at you, and figure out, you put in Gematrix.org and see what comes up as matches. And after a while, it'll start telling you a story about what you're supposed to be learning at this point in time. And you might do the same phrase or word like 3 or 4 months away from now, and you'll see completely different things, and you'll be reading a whole new story with the same word or phrase. So it's pretty fun. So let's see. So on the side of the Bible page that George had, it said, "He is risen," and risen equals 65, and that equals Team God, Big John, and there's a song, of course, an old folk song, Big John, and it was a movie too, and I decoded all that. I decoded all this stuff, everything. Just about everything I talk about I've already decoded. And risen equals comedy, show, Savin, Savin, for our 1-0 Savin. So, risen equals that, comedy, show, and Savin. And shocked, risen equals faked death. I mean, you can't get any more obvious than that. I am a joke. Beyond, so 3 different words here. Beyond, another one match is angry, and then oops. And it just jumped out like, okay, people will be beyond angry and oops, like, you guys. But it had to be this way. It just did. Jacqueline, only not spelled like our Jackie, but it's a reference to Jackie. It's Jaclyn. And dopey, and that was a non-post, a 17th letter post. And he had that name in there, nickname. And POTUS 45, President Trump called Al-Wahid in Saudi Arabia, called him dopey. So that's a big deal. So he wants us to know what matches dopey. And George wants us to know what matches risen. So they all equal 65, and they all equal comedy, show, Savin, angry. So that's the way I look at this. So there's more of risen. It's 65. It equals a movie. she said matches, and he said. So like Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary, the same people. Let's see. I am female. A real man. So we keep having references to a man and a woman. I am a king. The adder, that's a kind of a snake. Beguiled. And Savin talks about that. That's the word he uses for what the snake said to Eve. He beguiled her. And that's got a sexual connotation. I hate to say that, but it does. Beguiled. And Juan said that too. That's how he described that word. He used that same phrase. Eat meat. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that what happened in the Garden of Eden wasn't just picking something off a tree and eating it, and God said, oh, don't eat that piece of fruit. The forbidden fruit was human DNA. And if you've been following along with other things that have been going on, you'll know kind of what we're talking about. It begins with a C, and it ends with an ism. Yeah, the adder beguiled, eat meat, and man up. Like, okay, you guys have got to be held to, put to task, or I don't know how you want to put it. Oh, yeah, another match is to 65 risen is a test. That's what's going to happen. And President Trump says a big win a lot, at least he did in the past. And that matches 65, which is all these other things. Team God, comedy shows, Savin. It also matches another thing he says, China Joe. So he wants us to know what 65 is. Sorry about the paper noise. I was fiddling too much. So he has risen, the whole phrase on the left side of George's Bible, from Mark 6:6. Funny, huh? 6:6. He has risen is 106. And it equals, who is Eve? Sacrifice, honesty, they live. Clandestine, that's better. Red herring, teamwork. Maybe I'm going too fast. In other words, we're talking about a sacrifice in the Garden of Eden. They also lived at the cross. I think they were supposed to be Mary there too, because they both did something not good. It wasn't just Jesus. Ready to die, traumatic, island beast, and there's going to be like a chimera or a beast of some type, or whale or something that capsizes them in some kind of boat or sailing ship, and it won't be pleasant. I don't know when that's going to happen. Beast of death. So we're still working on he has risen 106. And the goddess. And then, to top it off, you got Kennedy Jr. I shouldn't say Jr. Kennedy Jr. An angry God. Disobedient. Sneak attack. Shark whale. Now that's just two words together. Shark and whale together. Hear me out, apologize, then God said. I don't want to hear it, probably. Battle cry, jaws of life. There's so many here that are like telling us a story about what's going on, either at the cross, or in the Garden of Eden, or now, or coming up. I shouldn't say at the moment, but coming up. And if you read, what is it, Revelation? It's in Revelation 11. And just read that. It's not a long chapter. And what happens is the beast kills them. They go to heaven. No, they go to hell, and then they come back on some kind of light, and there's the big, huge, giant earthquake, like the big one, you know, which I don't think will be real. I've said that forever. Since I started the channel, like, well, not a year ago. It's not a year ago. But since I started it, I've been saying that. All kinds of FFs will be going on, and they've been going on, and they're white hat ones. They're not the bad guy ones. So then I decided, in my last live stream video, the one I was just mentioning, it was really fun. And I was putting all kinds of things, like questions in Gematrix.org, just trying all kinds of things. Is Melania Diana? Is Carolyn Bessette Kennedy? You know, Melania? I mean, all kinds of things. I can't even remember. And so I tried, let's see, did he die on the cross? It's 184. And that equals, but did you know, it equals Gone with the Wind, like out of here. Let's see, Never Happening. All that equals 184. You Will Not Die matches 184. I can see clearly now. So it's not just a song. I can see clearly now the rain is gone, which I think will be like after the storm. But yeah, you will not die. I can see clearly now. Justice shall be done because nobody died. Let's see. Gotta make it right because it wasn't made right. You will all pay. A return to earth. Like they're down wherever hell is, they're there, and then they come back. Hopefully very quickly. Follow the damn law. Like that was God's law. Don't touch the forbidden fruit, which was human DNA. Follow my command. Let's see what else is good. Robert Kennedy Jr. matches. So I'm thinking there's other people there at the same time, all involved with everything. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Thief on a cross, on the cross, 184. Guilty conscience. The scheme of things. Let's see. Confess for mercy. We have the server. Yeah, we know where that comes from. And President Trump would say energy independent all the time. And that matches. Did he die on the cross? So he wants us to know what that meant. When he said energy independent over and over and over again, we're supposed to know, oh, when he says things over and over, look them up and see what's going on. Let's see. Head Start program. Got a head start out of there. Let's see. And elixirs of lives. And a match that I've gotten quite a bit is Jesus is, well, how do you say that? Plural. Is it possessive? I don't know. Jesus's knowledge of herbs comes up quite a bit for me. And what it is to me is that they took a draft or a draught or whatever of herbs or some elixir, like here, elixir of lives, so that it looked like they died, and they didn't die, but it looked like they died, or maybe that they somebody took a pulse, it looked like they died. I've even had that in other stories that I've read recently. You know how I do Sherlock Holmes stories? I even had it in there. The woman, the heroine kind of the story, looked like she was dying, and he took her pulse, and she wasn't dead, and let's see. So, anyway, did he die on the cross? Sounds like, oh, and a breakaway society. Juan just talked about that. He was talking about Antarctica on, it was the beginning of April, and it was on with Tom Numbers on Psych Club, and he's talking about that's where the breakaway society is. So it's near the end of that show. It was the one with Matt Letizia, who was a famous European football player, and he's a friend of Tom's. And he was on with Juan and Tom and Rachel, Right Side Blonde, and yeah, he brought that. He said that, so that was really cool. So anyway, I'm getting myself distracted. What else is new? Okay, so I tried. Oh, I'm always trying things in Gematrix. Did Jesus and Mary kill themselves? I mean, 339. And Juan has said before how upset, even when he was talking about Adam and Eve, he said in the past that Adam and Eve were so upset when they were thrown out of the garden. It made me wonder, is he even talking about back then? Like, I don't really know about that part. But it just kind of makes me wonder. I don't even have to read all this, but let's see. Did Jesus and Mary kill themselves? 339. And 339 equals the phrase that will break Gematrix. Doesn't that make sense? Did Jesus and Mary kill themselves? The phrase that will break Gematrix, like go off the rails. He is the world's most handsome man. Remember how everybody, well, of course, President Kennedy is super handsome, and hi, President Kennedy, and JFK Jr., who I always called just Jr., he was, on Time magazine as the world's sexiest man. And I'm sure you can find a photo of that cover online. And if you're lucky, you have a copy of the magazine. So, he's the world's most handsome man. That's like both of them. Did Jesus and Mary kill themselves? 339. A false interpretation of reality, like fake. And then we have Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene, matches. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it was in here. I read this, but I forgot this part was even in there. Jesus Christ's knowledge of herbs. So it comes up again. I should have known. And you're the ones who lack knowledge, like us. Like we don't know the truth. And then, why does this matter at all? I don't know. So I was thinking, if that's true, are we still under the law, Like we're supposed to be under the grace of God because Jesus died on the cross, because God told him, to be on the cross. I'm thinking Mary was supposed to be there too. And so he was supposed to take our place, like he was going to be the replacement for the sins that we had done. And I think in the Bible it says the propitiation for our sins. So if it wasn't the propitiation for our sins, then likely the only other thing I can think of is that we're still under what they say called the law, which means, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. I mean, which I think we're breaking it constantly. So Revelation 11, I really think you guys should go read it. Just look it up online. And I've been using the Geneva Bible. To me, it's more accurate. It's at least got a few of the books in it that were taken out for when King James had the Bible rewritten. Yeah, the Geneva Bible was written by Englishmen who had to escape from England, and they ran off to Geneva. They were being persecuted for their beliefs, the Protestant beliefs, so they wrote the Bible over a period of time, a whole bunch of them. And they had a lot of footnotes in it, which are really interesting. So you know, when you look up something, just say, I mean, if you want to, you don't have to do what I say, but I look for the Geneva Bible 1599, and that was the last edition of the Geneva Bible before King James Version came in. And then when you get there to that search, you can just plug in Revelation 11, whatever it is you're wanting to look at, and it is worded differently, and it's got some really good explanations with it, and it's really not hard to understand. Okay, so I'm still on, did Jesus and Mary kill themselves, 339? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I think I finished it. Yeah. Oh, sorry, yep. The only one that can save us now, I think it's them going through the beast or the chimera or the whale or whatever it is that happens in the water. Which is, you'll see, if you don't know Revelation 11, take a look at it and you'll get what I'm talking about. Let's see. So, did Jesus kill himself? Like, you know, with the herbs, and it looked like he died. I guess that's more of what I meant. You know, I could have even said, did Jesus fake his death? That would have been a good one. You guys can do that. So, did Jesus kill himself is 207, and that equals the storm is coming. Seriously true. Let's see. Perfect information. The swamp runs deep. This is it. This is what happened. Drugged and disoriented matches 207. So, yeah, that's what's going on. It's time to wake up. So if you're drugged and disoriented, then after that, it's time to wake up. And I think that's what the Great Awakening partly means, the phrase, the Great Awakening. And, like, did you wake up yet? Or, oh, they don't know what's going on, they didn't wake up. You know, that kind of phrasing. It's got something to do with them looking like they had died, but they weren't dead. I think that's got a lot to do with it. Stay alert, my son. Matches. So funny. Isn't this funny? I mean, not funny. Ironic, maybe. Plausible deniability. All this matches. It's just like almost ridiculous. High level of anxiety. Yeah, I bet they had it. They didn't want to go through with it. I mean, Jesus sweat blood in the garden, you know, Gethsemane. So, I don't know. So, oh yeah, there is more. Sorry. So, did Jesus kill himself? 207. Mary Magdalene bloodline. So, she's mentioned. Decode. Decode, just wait and see. Decode, just wait and see. Shouldn't say that. It's all this matches. I have no reason to lie. Matches. I don't respect liars. This is so stupid. Matches. It is. It is. See, third time lucky. I am doing this for us. And Jesus and Mary probably did do that for themselves, but when they go through the what happens in Revelation 11 with the beast and the water and all that stuff, they'll be doing it for us, you know, because I think things are going to change after that. That's what I think. Like, I've even wondered, you know, in decoding, does our DNA even change or what? I mean, I don't know what happens. Is it immediate? Is it a long time? Yeah. Then I know it's getting repetitive, but Jesus killed himself 199 equals President Trump's phrase, read the transcript. So he wants us to know what that is. Read the transcript. It's 199. It equals God's family bloodline. Tell him the truth. Like, tell God the truth. What's her story? The truth can be harsh. It all falls into place. Captain Jack Sparrow. There's two Jesuses. I mean, there's a few. There's women, so I won't say two. Truth to power. I escape wrath to come. Has but a short time. Let's see. It all falls into place. Oh, It's a Wonderful Life movie, you know. So then I don't know why, but I tried proof, because, you know, we're talking about truth all the time. What's true, what's not true, and we talk about proofs with you know, what we've been working on. And proof equals 70, and it equals am3. And I keep getting, you know, that there's 3 men, 3 women, gods, goddesses, but then I also, like in my last video, the live stream, Melania, I know if you haven't watched it, you're going to think I'm crazy, but Melania really is Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, or CBK, as we kind of talked about her with the initials CBK. And CBK, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, was not Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. It was really Princess Diana. There was never a Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. Princess Diana, remember that time John met with Diana in New York? Well, that was to plant the seed. You know, like you can look back, it's like a breadcrumb, right? A literal breadcrumb. You turn around and you look back and you see the breadcrumb to the trail back. So, yeah, that's what I got in that last video. All kinds of decoding about Melania is really 3. You know, she's Melania, she's CBK, and she's Diana. And, you know, I'm talking about with a full mask. So, I mean, I know she doesn't look like her. Of course, she doesn't look like her. So, and that makes sense for, what was it? I've gotten quite a few times. It's something like, I have never been married, or I'm not married, or something like that. And that would be President Trump. He's not married to her, at least. Okay, proof at 70 equals I am John, Yahweh, and this one is, I know it's different ways of spelling Yahweh. It's YAHWEH. Mary M, for Mary Magdalene, is 70. Marion, secret, leaving, all these things match. Proof. Like, there's going to be proof. There will be proof. I don't know how, but there will be. And of course, they'll be talking about it. And there'll probably be a massive worldwide event. Maybe that's going to be called the Great Event and not the Beast and the Chimera. But it could be a bunch of great events. I don't know. So, secret, leaving, suicide. All this matches. Proof. Kill God. Okay, matches. No joke. Matches. A false thing on a flagpole. A false FOAG. Okay? So, I guess I can't say that. You know that. The fluffy thing. So, a false thing. Okay? Secret, leaving, suicide, something faked. All lies matches. Elevate. New man. Like you go down, or wherever hell is. I think it's someplace else. It's not really down below, but it could be. New man becomes new. He rose. Like after that, comes back. I can fly. So many things I can't say. 17th letter, drop. That letter, and then drop. Like our posts that we were getting for a long time, like 3 or 4 years, I don't remember. Deep dive. all these things that we take for granted, like link, post, deep dive, all those phrases or words, I should say, that we use were put there for us. They were put there for us by the good guys, and we've been using them right along, not knowing that what we're saying is all of these things, all of these other things. There's nothing as a coincidence, you know. Yeah. So then I tried, what would Jesus do? Remember that phrase? People would have it on their shirts and everything. And that's 220. And it equals reveal secret truth. That's he's going to. Bride marrying Christ. Limited destruction. Gift of discernment. The coming catastrophe. You will be punished. What would Jesus do? Is 220, it equals you will be punished. The brotherhood of death. Naughty little girl. Spiritual spouse. Disrespect of God's laws. Don't eat the DNA, people. You better believe it. What is this all about? John F. Kennedy is 17th letter A-N-O-N. The devil's in the detail. Matches 220. Lies built upon lies. It was meant to happen, but it's not funny. Last one. So, I was going to go on, but boy, I am losing my voice, so I'm sorry. I'm cutting this off. And I think you guys get the message, right? I think it gets like stories. I mean, I wish you could see all this stuff. My counter is covered, and I'm not sitting in my comfy chair, so it's kind of sad. But I love you guys. Take care, and make sure you take care of each other. And talk to each other on comments, on Telegram. Join Mrs. Handy RU Chit Chat. I would love that. And you guys can post your links, and please help decode, decode each other. Ryan is on there, and so is Yutzi. I said your name wrong, honey. Judith. We were on with Ryan and Judith, and it's Jutzzi, and she posts and Ryan posts on Mrs. Handy RU Chit Chat. So I hope you guys join. And that would be really fun. And I'm on Buy Me a Coffee, and let's see, all those good things, Patreon and Venmo and PayPal. So the links should be down below in the description. So I hope you consider that if you think I help you guys. We would really appreciate the help. So Mr. Handy says hi, and I love you. Bye-bye. See you later.